Hello and welcome to the new episode of Magical Boot, episode number 37. This is Ronnie. I have Shudipta with me. A very early morning. Good morning, Shudipta. How is it going?
Good morning. Yeah, it's like 6:30 here. Good night for you.
Yeah, that's late. It's not that late, but yeah, night for me. So, I mean, after a week, we're recording. There's been some kind of action, definitely in Copa Libertadores and Copa Sudamericana, but before that, transfer window is still going. A lot of drama is still happening. Where do you want to start?
I think let's start with football.
Let's
Um,
start with football and
so
no drama.
no,
Oh, come on, I'm disappointed on you. That's okay. We can talk about a little bit of football. Um, as I mentioned, that there's a Copa Libertadores second round. Happened 28th and 29th. Um, some interesting games, some not so interesting game. Uh, but as I have not seen every game, to be honest. Seen few interesting ones, and couldn't see more. But I'll give you a list of the results. Amlec versus Atletico Mineiro. It was 1-1.
one, one.
Yes. Then it was Boca Junior. Sorry, Corinthians versus Boca Juniors. Goalless. Uh, Atletico Paraínas versus Libertad, 2-1. Cerro Portonato, sorry, actually, Cerro Porteño and Palmeiras.
Portinho.
Yeah, Palmeiras won it 3-0. Uh, Tacheres versus Colón, 1-1. Vélez versus River. Vélez won by 1-0. Deportes Tolima versus Flamengo. Flamengo won 1-0 away. And Fortaleza versus Estudiantes 1-1. Um, I have seen actually the first day I've seen the Boca Juniors versus Corrientes. It was a very poor game of football. Uh, to start, I was obviously both teams. I think Corrientes had a lot of injury coming to the game.
So many players are.
Yeah,
I don't
missing.
know. Like it did not seem time. Seems like Corinthians.
Yeah, and also
And
uh, I thought Boca had an edge on this, like just because how the Corinthians was playing. But it's not a
actually, both teams got chances, like big chances.
yeah. Especially Benedetto had few shots. I think he could have done a bit better.
Yeah.
Also, one header or two header. Like there was no like it was almost like free header. At least you want it to be uh, testing the keeper. And I think Corinthians had this penalty saved by Rossi. Rossi is someone very good at penalties. Like if your life is depending on it, you want
Yeah.
him to save your penalties. He's very good at it. At least whatever I've seen. I mean, so many times
And
he's been in tiebreaker. He won every time.
actually, few seasons ago there was one, like it is famous one. Um, I forgot actually, but what happened? I thought like there it's going to be at least like some sort of goals or something like that at the end. But the problem is that like both teams, they were so pragmatic in their approach. It doesn't feel like Brazilian teams playing like Corinthians. They used to a little bit, like some sort of a little bit attacking uh, minded.
In
They
case
used to be.
you can hear a little bit of ambulance in the background, that's just outside of my block, just going around. Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah, I heard that actually.
Yeah,
I was wondering.
yeah, I'm still alive. But yeah, I guess something has happened, and but yeah,
So,
nothing to worry.
but both of the team relies on, it seems like, counter attacks these days.
Yeah, and I think it was very obvious from Boca.
Yeah,
Chinguito Ceballos tried few things, and actually he was the only source of putting the crosses. I personally felt that Benedetto should have done better, but again, it's a game Boca would feel they're lucky to get back with 0-0. Um, at
yeah.
least,
At least in Brazil, it's a good result for them.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, nothing.
But
Go ahead.
Willian was playing like he was possessed by Messi or something like that,
But
because there were few dribbling moments.
that's typical Willian. Like not in Chelsea, not in Chelsea, but I've seen him doing it in the age when he was like under 20s or under 23s and stuff like that. He used to do that a lot. And I guess the focus is back on him, so he's the
Yeah,
most senior player, right? He's the most,
yeah,
he can, you can forgive him for that, I guess. The other game that I, but yeah, for this one, I feel Boca is would be happy to get back with the 0-0, and they might hope that it goes to penalties because they have Rossi. Um, the other game I thought it was interesting was Amalek versus Atletico Mineiro on that day. Atletico Mineiro looked started well,
yeah.
then they looked garbage. Then they considered a very silly goal. They had a red card incident, and eventually had a penalty of Hulk, being saved by the keeper. Um,
But funny thing is that like the red card was like really unnecessary. Like why would he do that? Like it doesn't matter. He elbowed. He just elbowed. He was saying something and he just elbowed. It doesn't like make
well,
any sort of sense.
that's
It's
very typical of Copa Libertadores. you you
yeah,
only see
exactly.
that certain things on that. But yeah, I mean, it was unnecessary, definitely. If you're
Yeah,
thinking from
probably.
brain's point of view, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that happened to players like Zidane. So
But are we comparing everyone to Zidane? No. But that's very much why I kind of like South American football. You'll see some rash moments, and that's definitely one of them. Um, I feel Atletico Mineiro has a better squad in terms of names, but they're still
yeah, but they're even when they were 11 players. I saw the highlights actually. They did not seem like
co-
like
cohesive in
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. They don't have any sort of like coordination or something like that. It's not like a team playing to win something.
No, they're just yeah. It's more of a one or two players trying to combine and try to do something by their own, and if it happens, happens. If it doesn't, doesn't. Didn't have much of a shape when the Amlek score, and obviously,
Yeah.
yeah, there's not much shape in terms of midfield holding them. There's line, not much line, anyways. Yeah, we used to see in European football, especially, you have to break lines. There's not much line in there. Um,
No, not really.
the I think one of the favorites of this. Libertadores, although I didn't see the game, is Palmeiras, and they beat 3-0. So
Actually, yeah, I enjoyed how they played the whole game. I was going to mention that actually because they had rhythms and I don't know something else. Like it feels like like you are enjoying a team, and this is the only team I think so far is playing a little bit
and you have to ask me
different.
why is that?
What?
You have to ask me why Palmeiras plays so well.
It's because of Ronnie.
Exactly, exactly.
He scored 5 goals in 6 matches, in Copa Libertadores, and
Yeah, I'm a little
there
bit
were
disappointed.
probably
I could score more, I definitely think.
it's not your interview,
No, but the favorite thing is Ron is scoring at 60 and 69 minute. Like he,
Yeah,
that's 10 minutes span. I think that's where the game turned, especially. Um, I mean, there was not much from the Cerro Porteño side. Um, but again, it's a complete domination. Could have been more. There was a you can
but
see a
but
team.
how old is he now? Because I saw some of his footage like from
Let's
uh,
not get into my age, but I don't think it's a good question actually. How old is he?
I think it's 26, 27 around that age.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, the thing is that like I saw some of his footage in the what is it called? Brazilian Syria.
Mhm.
Um, he was sort of like he could actually sniff the goals in the box. Like he always in the right place. Sort of like last season, Julian Alvarez or something like that. Because he was always in the position to score, and he's already scored like 7 goals in 13 matches so far. You know.
Yeah,
Uh,
it seems to be one of the good seasons he's having.
yeah,
Um, there is another Brazilian team won against
Flamengo.
Flamengo against Deportes uh, Tolima, Deportes Tolima. Uh, I believe I didn't see the game. I saw the highlights. It was the highlights. It's a tricky thing because it just shows the highlights. I cannot really talk too much about this game, but it's Flamengo is one of the other team that is. I guess it's a favorite team to go on. And
Yeah, but the problem is that like so far I saw them this season. The problem is that David Luiz is like he's completely lost if he comes up against a really speedy forward or someone like someone who can actually a little bit dribble. So that's the weak point of them because he was caught up with Caicedo from the other team
Tolima.
or yeah Tolimo or Garcia sometimes like causing problems. But other than that, I would say like this players Diego he's solid. Sorry, yeah, Diego is solid so far. And another was like Pereira. The midfield actually is solid, but the problem is that like I don't like their playing techniques. It's not like Palmeiras because they played one-touch football and like I don't know have some sort of style. Flamengo doesn't have that thing, although they are also favored in the Serie A as well.
If you remember, this Diego is he used to play for Atletico Madrid. and also I think he had a stint on AC Milan too. He's 37, by the way. Uh,
Yeah, but he doesn't look that old.
yeah, looks can be deceiving. And again, he's done. He's okay on that level for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's about Brazilian team, and the other clash that was kind of mouth-watering, at least from Argentine two massive sides, Vélez versus River Plate. River Plate were kind of clueless, pretty bad.
Have you watched that game? I
Uh,
sort of like missed that.
yeah, I did, and they're very lucky. Just the game is only 1-0. It could have been clear. There are some really clear chances. Either the Vélez, especially the ex-River Lucas Prato, uh, missed one or two, and also
There
whenever,
were a few tap-ins also, like
yeah, yeah, and
on
also
both
some
sides.
saves from Armani too. And but again, uh, Vélez is something that when the season started, we always, especially I always thought they are never there are never question about talents that they produce. It's about the coach, how they use it, and glad that the new appointment of the coach is doing well for them, especially the guys like Oriano and Matis Peroni. These are very very talented players and will be doing very good as the as the years rolls on. But yeah, Jansen, I think he scored. It could have been easily 3-4 minimum, and River should be happy just because how horrible their defensive line looked. It looked really bad. Especially, I have to mention Martinez, David Martinez. Goodness, that guy was. I mean, I don't know what he ate on that lunch or whatever. He didn't definitely want to be in that field for sure for long. His tackles were like North Pole, South Pole, like the players were cutting him apart, and yeah, it was really embarrassing. And River did look clueless in terms of attack as well. I think the whole midfield didn't work,
Um,
and it it
do you
is
think
it is it is concerning because I'm seeing a trend for River for last 5, 6, or even 7 games. They look like I cannot say that word in YouTube. Uh, they look like kind of important, like lack of ideas, no creativity at all.
only thing they are doing is like so for few matches, like there is a trend to cross from like crosses from the wings, and that's it.
And I was thinking,
And
what is the missing piece? Is it De La Cruz? Um, is it
it's not like De La Cruz
because
is not a one player actually. It's
because they
sort of like
they
tactics.
yeah they had
And some players are going to leave, like Enzo Fernandez and Julian Alvarez, and they are trying to, I don't know, like thinking about it or trying to bring someone else. But the problem is that like the recruitment or even shape of the team is not like
well,
last season's.
yeah, true, but Enzo Fernandez played this game.
Yeah,
Julian Alvarez played this game. So there are definitely replacements. Quintero played this game. That's the most creative player River had uh, as a substitute. He played, but even Barco, I don't know. It's not something is not clicking. While everything else was
it's
clicking.
shape, I guess. And also, River has a tendency uh, to like mess things up, and like if they have a good season or two. than
Yeah,
midfielder.
I think also the other thing is that Julian Alvarez cannot play as a sole number nine, so you have to put Brian Romero up with him as a second striker. That is impacting somewhat in the midfield and down. Uh, but again, I feel that backline is really bad. You cannot really do much with that backline. So they have to
And
do.
they could not actually play from the back because they are losing balls in the middle of the pitch, like before like upper middle of the pitch, like lower middle for them. So that's another problem.
Yeah, and I have
Enzo Fernandez, so far I know, like he's good with carrying the ball through the um, midfield and defying pressure, and then he's playing in completely different role last few games, sort
true.
of like an utility player, and which is not actually a good, how can I say, like a good situation for him, or I don't know, because he seems to be the guy who takes responsibility.
Yeah, and there are other players too who showed some kind of spark at certain point of time. Like I want to talk about Palavecino. Doesn't look to be the same player. Um, but again, I have to give some credit to the Vélez coach Medina because there is always talent on that team. It was the right coach to use the right system and right players. And Vélez um, would be kicking
But
themselves.
they played like really plain basic football.
Yeah,
That's the thing, and they
but
beat River.
they would be kicking themselves for not scoring 3-4, at least two.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so River is still alive. The other fun game was Cologne versus Talleres. Both teams are very imperfect from various different reason. Like Talleres has problem in the defense. Um, Cologne have some certain problems in attack and from midfield. But again, it was a very entertaining game, 1-1. Um, Good game, um, like an entertaining game. I still think Cologne is a better team overall. Um, but again, if Tashiris come out of it, yeah, I mean it's fine.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other game was Fortaleza versus Estudiantes. I had high hopes for Estudiantes. I Estu-
Actually, I did not. I saw some of their games, and they are so pragmatic, and it feels like that team almost win Argentine League back in late 2000s.
no, I sorry, I would like to differ. I think Zielinski, the coach, he always have some flamboyant team, and I think this Estudiantes has a lot more flair, especially up there.
Yeah,
Um,
but they are not using them. Like they have always like 5-4-1 or something like that, like 3-5
yeah,
something
yeah. No,
formation, and they're
I
not using
I I,
attackers.
I hear you.
They should actually play a little bit, aggressive. That. Like
I hear you, but it's a system, and they had a little bit of success last few games, I would say. Um,
yeah, and the first tier of like now, right now, second tier of the Argentine league has started, and
yeah,
right now they are sort of like probably going upwards, or like first 2-3 positions. So far I remember.
yeah,
Before in the first tier, they did not look well. Also, like so, like they went back to this pragmatic approach,
yeah.
but they have players they can use in certain positions like wings and.
But it's
But
again going away and having 1-1, not a bad result. I mean, still a lot to play. Uh, but if you ask me based on first leg, who has a clear kind of thing going for them is Palmeiras.
yeah, I think, well, everyone will say Flamengo
Uh,
uh,
maybe.
in pen and paper, but Palmeiras seems, um, uh, I don't know, like they sort of have a style, like you can see that.
I agree with Flamengo too. I mean, they're a better side definitely. They're a very good side.
Yeah, they have definitely better players, but so far, how they're playing this season is not that actually.
But what
Uh,
I can guarantee is that Atletico Mineiro is not going to go. And I could be wrong. And again, don't hold me for it. But whatever I've seen, it seems like a random 1-2 of certain players and very kind of specifically individualistic way of going forward. Especially a lot depend on Nacho Fernandez and Hulk. Um, I don't know if they can really go further, and they're not as organized when the other team really attacks. So yeah, it would be tough.
well, let's see. Um, but
So
um,
that's the Copa Libertadores kind of um, part,
yeah,
and
but
that
any predictions for like the quarterfinal? Because I don't see any Argentine teams are going to semis or something like that. Maybe.
could be if fellas keep this going. Who knows? But
Well,
and now
fellas,
and
yeah.
also I think Estudiantes, if they can go and find another favorable draw, I think they can do it.
Is the transfer window in Argentina open or something like that? Like it's a mid season.
That's a good question. I have to dig in. Um, it's kind of a oh,
Because
oh,
they
oh.
need some players, and there I think there were moves from Boca Juniors to some other clubs. Some players were leaving. I saw that actually, but I could not actually remember who is
I think there's a window. They can because it's June, July, which
Mhm.
is kind of winter over there.
Yeah,
So there might be a
be-
window.
because so many players will leave, and only thing is actually stable is Flamengo. That's the thing actually. Uh, River Plate is going to lose two of their key players, and I don't know how will they replace. So Velez is more likely to be an option, and there is another um, Estudiantes. I don't know. I don't know. Probably there's.
I think there's this transfer window is ongoing. I just saw a
Mm.
tweet of Independiente getting a player from Defensa y Justicia. So yeah, they can definitely bring players in.
Oh, okay. Also, for Palmeiras, I don't know actually. Probably some players will leave.
Yeah, potentially that's how South American football like works, right? So yeah.
Yeah, but do you think Boca Juniors will move forward against Corinthians? Because so far, I don't know. Like it doesn't seem like they are not going to win anything, and they somehow manage to win. Uh,
Boca has a chance. Definitely, it's in Lambo Benera. They will play, uh,
and they are going to lose, so probably at least two, three players.
but they have so much. Really, to be honest, they have so many talents. Even if you think of the mishap of the coaches and the other some of the players like Augustin Almendra and stuff like that, but they still
Mm.
have a lot of players coming up in the rank. But again, you I think they will bring some. I think Brian Romero is a good addition. Is it Brian Romero, the Paraguayan? What's his name? The Oscar Romero. Sorry, Brian Romero is a River Plate striker. Oscar Romero is a I think is a very good utility player, and I think again it's a style of the Boca at this point. It is important to see how the coaches see the players, right, and how
Yeah,
he's going to use it.
that's the problem. Like so many players are in the bench and
But to the credit of
only.
Marcos Rojo, he if you have seen that block, like two or three blocks, yes, it
Yeah,
was, it was like the wall of China. Um,
yeah, it is unbelievable from that part actually. Like how like right now he's pretty much fit, and if he plays like this, and like there are media pressure from South America to take players from South America, like to the World Cup or
I don't think
something.
this time it will be, especially in national team. I think they're very
Yeah, but
organized.
like Lisandro Martinez is probably the better choice than him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Argentina national team has a better choice of players than
Mm,
Marcos Rojo. I hope
yeah.
for the sake of the love of the Queen of the England, they don't take it because the, yeah, Marcos Rojo is perfect fit for Copa Libertadores, especially last time they had a fight with the oxygen cylinder in the Brazilian soil in Atletico Mineiro. It is where he's perfect fit. On the same note, Carlos Tevez has started his coaching career
Mm.
with the defeat in I think
What which team is that actually?
it's Rosario Central or Newells. Is it? It's Rosario Central actually. I believe. I'll double check that. Tevez. Yeah, Rosario Central, the same team that produced Angel Di Maria and Giovanni Lo Celso. So yeah, they're in a very very dire state, and Tevez started with a loss, and hope he improves. Just wishing him good
Well,
wishes.
the derby will be fiery at least.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We
the
know.
Newells.
It's always fiery, but like Newells versus Rosario.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. On the same note, I guess we can go towards the drama section. That is
Yeah,
tra-
of course.
that is transfer.
We are talking about Lisandro Martinez, and there are interest from
Arsenal cannot
interest
sleep
from
alone. Arsenal cannot sleep in peace.
not really. I think there are interest from United, and actually, from Lisandro's point of view, like he wants to go to England, and he actually cut short of his vacation and went to talk with his agent, and again went back to vacation. But what he is saying, like he is interested to listen to the offers from England, and so far there are two. There could be actually three. If Tottenham continue to continue their interest, but now United and Arsenal,
Now, why I'm
and
laughing is that Tottenham was being linked with Clement Langley.
actually it's a done deal. And they actually sort of probably it is a loan. It is going to be a loan deal or something like that. And so far I know, it's almost done. Like from players' points of view.
Goodness gracious me! But yeah, let's go back to Lisandro's situation. So you said it's obviously there will be some interest from United as Ten Hag
Yeah,
saying.
and yeah, Ten Hag. He so far like to work with Ten Hag, and the another thing is that like in the middle of probably last season or the season before, probably last season, he was playing as a defensive midfielder, so like he can actually cover two spaces, and that is probably what United need right now, because they don't have any backup for McTominay, or Fred is like right now probably going to play as a number eight or something like that. Um, so
Yeah, yeah,
Lu-
I can see that.
Lisandro,
I can see that.
yeah, and from Arsenal's point of view, they need a solid center back in the with the left foot. So I don't know.
But isn't it the Brazilian, what is his name, Gabriel?
Gabriel. Actually, there are three Gabriel Gabriels in Arsenal right now, so it's sort of like I don't know, like if Gabriel Jesus wants to play with all Gabriels or something like that, like you know,
Gabriel and Sons.
yeah, some sort of like that, like Gabriels and teams,
uh,
brothers or something like that.
what is the transfer policy? We're looking for someone's first name as Gabriel.
Probably they search with like Gabriel
Well,
or something like that. They Google for footballers and
yeah.
something like that, and search with
Well,
Gabriel.
they have this agent called. Is it agent they're hiring the sports person for South America? Is Edu, the
Yeah.
former Brazilian striker, right? And
Yeah, he also probably played for Arsenal or something
did he
um,
for a
for
short,
one or two
short
seasons.
spill?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
2 seasons probably.
yeah, yeah. Uh, but I think I liked Marquinhos one, especially. I think that's a good deal for Arsenal. I think it's a very interesting prospect. Uh, Now, talking about Arsenal being linked to another Brazilian like Rafinha, it's not really. It's up in the air at this point, right?
Actually, it was closed because there were better offer from Tottenham, and it was like 60 million plus. Sorry, 50 million plus add-ons, almost like 60 million. But Rafinha's agent
Is
is
Deco.
Deco. Yeah, he told Deco to not to move into the second stage of the offer, like personal terms and stuff like that. Go in with it, and he instead is going to listen to what Barcelona are going to offer, and which is from Leeds' point of view, it's not much. It's almost around like 25, 30 million, almost half, and um, I guess also I guess they are trying to sort things up right now. So let's
Yeah,
see.
I was listening to Tim Vickery, I think somewhere, and he talked about how it's hard for Brazilian players to say no to Barcelona if there is any interest. So
Actually, from Barcelona and from Real Madrid, then it is hard to say no to those clubs from any.
unless you're Mbappe.
Well, he's from France. What do you what does he know?
Uh,
No, South American players that tends to for them actually those two clubs are like top, not only because of football but also because of
Heritage.
cities and cultures actually.
Yep. So a lot of things up in the air, at least from Arsenal's point of view. I mean,
Actually, I think the key signing could be, so far it would be Fabio Vieira from Porto, because there are numbers like his goal per yeah, goal per 90s or goal involvement per 90s is actually way better than Darwin Nunez or Luis Diaz. So it could be a good signing for them, or a key signing. Another I don't know like if Rafina is going to come, uh, but they probably need a backup for Bukayo Saka in the right side, and also a backup striker. If Nketiah, I don't know if he signed it already the extension.
So you think Jesus will be more of a number nine?
Yeah, that's why they signed in.
Oh,
Uh,
they need then very good backup.
yeah, yeah, because he's not like a prolific goal scorer, at least so far we
No,
know.
it's not regular.
But also, he played like 47 games last season and scored 13. But most of them are not like as a starter as well. So yeah, given give or take 20 goals will be, but so like then they will need a little bit more from
I I,
another
I,
player
I I
or
don't
another source.
even think he can score 20 goals. But time will tell. But
Not in the Premier League. Like I'm talking about the whole, all
season,
three. Yeah, all season.
yeah. Now you need another source, another one or two sources
Yeah.
definitely.
Also, the most like important problem is like in the central midfield right now. They tried to sign Tillemanes
Yep.
or Tillemans, but I don't think he is going to go there. So they're looking for alternatives and a backup center back as Lisandro Martinez. So those yeah, those two positions needs to be filled.
So you think that Lisandro Martinez, if they buy Lisandro, is it's going to be a backup center back
Could
to
be,
Gabriel?
yeah.
Okay. So in that case,
But
I Mhm.
yeah, so like that's why for him to go to
United.
United because both, yeah, make more sense. Also, he will probably going to play like even if it is not this season, but from the next season he is going to play more like familiar football that what he played in Ajax.
Yeah. Yeah. Some interesting things definitely. So also from I think Manchester United, they bought someone, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
No,
they haven't actually bought anyone yet. Um,
but there's a one depart
uh,
one departure from Pogba.
actually, actually, rumors.
Not rumors. Ronaldo just basically said that.
Yeah, Ronaldo already asked for um, um, like he's more interested into playing Champions League than United.
Yeah, no,
So
it makes sense. Uh, and I think in a way it makes sense for both parties. Uh,
yeah, of course.
Ten Hag, he,
Actually, they need a rebuild from the scratch. And if you are playing around like 37 years old when who is soon to be 38,
yeah.
it's not actually ideal for you. But
So from Ronaldo's point of view, where he can go?
um,
Chelsea,
and yeah, could be also. He will probably be listening to the offers from Italy as well. Um,
Italy.
yeah,
Who
AC
would,
Milan probably.
AC Milan doesn't have that money. They can't afford him.
No, actually they can. If they already let go of Ibrahimovic. Um,
But Ibrahimovic was earning almost nothing. Like he reduced
yeah,
his price like very much.
yeah, there should be some sort of compensation because he's not going to earn that much. He's not that earning actually that much in United as well. So for him to play in the Champions League is like a more important because he thinks he can play like three more seasons and he wants to stay in the Champions League. He played like 19 consecutive years in Champions League. So maybe there is another option is going back to Sporting SP where he started.
Yeah, that makes more sense, at least to me. Uh,
And I think these points for him actually, if he plays in if there are offers from England, then probably money could be a problem, like a problem. But for him right now, I don't think see money is going to be a problem. I don't know.
well, I have this sneaky suspicion that he knows how much Leo Messi earns in PSG, right?
Mm. Yeah,
So I don't think he's going to reduce huge amount to lower himself from that. Um, I mean, it's a healthy competition, we say, but there is a competition, right? So I
yeah.
don't think he can reduce that much too. Just to out of like I can understand playing Champions League is important, but he can't really play for anybody.
Oh, that's true. But I don't know. Like it depends. Uh, I don't know. Really know what will he decide. So
Fair enough. I thought I should put it out there. I thought you would know, but that's okay. We move on. um, so from as we mentioned about Chelsea, how do you see, or even before jumping to Chelsea? I mean, there are a lot of names Man United are being surrounded with. Uh, how do you want to entertain the speculation, or
um, I don't know. The problem with uh, United already probably lost Frankie De Jong because De Jong is staying so far.
oh, I don't know about that. Maybe they want to spend, they want to get 10-15 million more. That's why Laporta is playing like is saying,
No, actually, it was broken down by players so far.
okay,
Like he doesn't want to leave. Like
Barcelona.
nobody wants to leave Barcelona. That's the problem. I don't know what is there. I should
uh,
go there and see.
yeah, yeah, please, and let me know. I might join. Um, I mean, yeah, it's unbelievable to be honest. The economic crisis and everything, but nobody wants to leave Barcelona.
Yeah, and there's I think last week they gave some sort of like a
TV rights away.
uh, ifs and buts of finances. Like they are going to earn if that happens and that happens and that happens, and then they will earn like 600 millions. Then they will spend like um almost 200 millions for four players actually. Uh, Robert Lewandowski, Bernardo Silva. Who
Again,
else?
again,
Rafinha and someone else. I forgot.
I'll put a question here.
Oh yeah, Conde.
I'll put a question here. Would you really spend? Because I know they put a bid for, actually put two bids for Lewandowski, and both got rejected. It was like 40.
Yeah, first one was like 25 or something,
Yeah,
and
and
Bernardo
then
Silva
40 plus
40.
something, like 5 million add-ons or something. Um, Bayern Munich even said that they won't even consider a bid below 60. So the situation in Barcelona right now, and Lewandowski's age, why would they go and chase a 34-year-old number 9 at that amount of price?
Actually, if they are willing to pay 60 million, then they can actually get what is it, Lautaro Martinez or someone like that,
But then that would make
or
sense.
Paulo Dybala for free.
No, I don't think they're going for that. So I don't know. It's but they already have Memphis Depay. who they want to sell,
Aubameyang.
right? Aubameyang, and if you put Ansu Fati there, I can understand Dembele is no.
Who's going to buy Memphis Depay right now? Except for some clubs in France, I don't know. Probably Lille. But
No, not
there were interests so far, like at the end of the season, from Inter Milan, but they bought Romelu Lukaku. So maybe
yeah.
AC Milan.
Uh, Again, I don't really see that happening. Memphis Depay. Uh, Again, there's a situation with Dembele. I think Dembele is a free agent now.
Yeah, but
So,
it's not like a situation. I don't know. It depends on money actually. Like he wants probably 25 around that number per year.
oh goodness. Um, no, it's a peculiar situation in Barcelona that like they have Aubameyang. So far, they still have a Memphis Depay who's been very good with Netherlands. It's
Yeah,
not a bad player.
actually, when he plays on this left flank, he's actually better player.
I would even say he looked better player than Ferran Torres. I mean, Ferran Torres is a still developing prospect. But if you need some kind of finished product at some point of time in your season, you need Memphis Depay, and
Yeah.
it
Also,
is.
also like he's good at a second striker. Like if the other wingers from the right is playing a little bit deeper, like what um Adama Traore played last season.
Yep.
So sort of like like keeping the weight and like move between the lines of the center back and right back and stuff like that. He's like really good at those positions. If and if Pedri or probably someone who is making through passes from this side, uh, like what actually uh, sort of like it was last 17 years. It was sort of like a predicted from Messi, like those passes to the corner. But if someone is making those passes, he's like really good in receiving those Depay. So I would say like why would you want to sell? And when he go like gets responsibility, he's always like gave some sort of output at least.
Yeah, it's a. I don't know. It's a strange situation, but maybe because he was brought by Koeman. other than that,
That's the thing actually.
I mean, at this point, Barcelona even wanted to buy Morata, who nobody wanted, even not Juventus. And
Actually, Atletico Madrid re-signed Morata.
well, they had him as player, right? He loaned out.
Yeah.
He was loaned out, so they couldn't find
No, actually,
another.
because of Luis Suarez, and Suarez left, and they thought like Griezmann will be as good as, or at least nearly as good as
He used to be.
he used to be. And the problem was that like was not, and that's why they actually call back Morata. And it seems like that Morata is going to end his career moving from this club to this club. I don't know.
But yeah, just to mention that Atletico does have Matis Cunha as a striker in case Morata doesn't click. Um, so yeah, I was going to say that Barcelona at some certain points was preferring Morata over Memphis. So I don't know what's going on.
And Memphis is better ball players than Morata.
Yeah, technically better player too.
Yeah.
But it seems like the preference is Spanish players. Uh, and
Yeah, but isn't it? isn't it opposed what he said, like meritocracy?
Sorry, what was that?
He said when he joined, took over Zabi. I'm talking
Xavi.
about,
Xavi
yeah,
Hernandez. Yeah,
yeah, that it would be something like meritocracy or something like that.
that's good to
Um,
good point to start. I guess you don't have to be
and
fixated
if
on
you are
that.
looking for only Spanish player, it's not meritocracy. It's sort of racism or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Or nationalism. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's always a good point to start, but then you don't have to be fixated on that.
yeah. Like you already have like six, seven Spanish nationals, or even national team players.
Yeah, exactly.
How more do you want?
Well, there's 4 or 5 left, at least. But yeah, that's some interesting thing going on. Like they don't have money, they have money. They don't have a deal, they might have deal. They're lined up, and players are
Actually,
preferring them.
what they need more, like not focusing on Robert Lewandowski or someone else, but more focus on like defensive system, because um there are also like a sort of a clash going on between PK versus the board, and also PK versus Zabi, I guess, and also the, like he doesn't want to play him in the first team, and that's why he is so desperate to buy Kunde, so that like he thinks he's the best fit for long term, the
Kunde?
players to be built around her. Yeah,
Yeah, if Kunde leaves Sevilla, Sevilla,
actually, Sevilla is not interested to sell him in an what does it call, an opposition, direct opposition, or something like that. That's the problem.
I think Sevilla would be okay if they get cash. What Sevilla doesn't want is a
Yeah,
bunch of promise and add-ons and stuff like that, and we will pay you later. I think that's another. It's a nice way of putting that they don't want to sell it to the direct rival, as long as they can get cash, and that's the same thing with Leeds United too, with the Rafinha. Barcelona is promising a lot of money, but uh, that cash is not there yet.
yeah. But they sold some players. They're going to sell like this week, uh, like Longley.
Is it sell or is it loan?
I don't know.
Loan obligation to sell.
Sort of like that, probably.
And what about Umtiti? He's still there, right?
Yeah, he's still there. Also, I think Pjanic is back from loan, and they are trying to get some sort of deal with Roma, probably. I don't know.
For Pjanic?
Yeah, and actually, it would be good signing for Roma as well. But for Pjanic, it involves a huge pay cut, and nobody wants a pay cut.
Yeah, for sure. Um, anyways, one of the major highlights is obviously Lukaku getting going back to Inter.
We talked about that
But
topic.
even on side of that, the Lewandowski drama. So if Lewandowski ends up on staying in Bayern Munich, and Lewandowski said by himself he doesn't want to play for Bayern anymore, any other match, right? So
Yeah, and he's not even in the. I guess this week the preseason preparation will start, and he's not going to feature that actually.
so in case the Barcelona bids are getting rejected, where it's going to end up?
Chelsea.
So Chelsea are putting a bid for him.
I think so far they are inquiring about him, but there aren't any sort of news from anywhere that they contacted his agent, and but they are
But
interested.
isn't there Timo
But for
Werner?
Chelsea's points of view is a little bit different. Like they are actually like how can I say, they they're more interested to buy a defender than a striker, and for like for attacking area, they are actually like moving one and then getting someone in or something like that. So like they moved away Lukaku, and then that's why they are looking for another striker. And there are few names actually, but they haven't finalized it. Probably they will finalize it at the end of the season, sorry, transfer window or something. But right now, like defense, because like so many 4 or 5 defenders already left Chelsea, and it's going to be a big problem for them.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Lewandowski ends.
Yeah, probably he will end up playing for Bayern again. Like we saw that from the last season from Harry Kane, it happened. So
Yeah,
and Bayern doesn't actually have any options right now.
there's few players. In case that
Yeah,
if you wait until last moment, you can have Memphis Depay.
I don't see them going after for Depay, and this how can I say, this board actually thinks sort of like a losing Lewandowski will be a
Pride, matter of
yeah,
pride.
matter of pride or something like that. And it's Oliver Kahn involved, so it always a matter of pride. But yeah, they made a few good signings actually. Grabenbach is probably already done, and there is another Ajax defender. I forgot his name. He's
The right
also
Mazuri.
Mazarui is also done, and then another one from center back. He was pairing with
Lisandro.
uh, I forgot his name actually.
Okay.
But also like Onana left already. Um, I think for Inter or AC. Inter, I guess.
Inter probably.
Yeah. So the whole Ajax team is is up for sale right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunately the culture of the players getting bought from them. Um, so yeah,
Um, what else? I, are we talking about like Chelsea or something?
we were talking about Chelsea's potential buys.
Um, I actually haven't seen them actually that much active, but like or close to signing anyone so far.
Yeah, it's there's a lot in the go, but um, it's still like July 2nd. A lot of things can happen. Um, yeah, I think a lot of, I mean, I don't know, a lot of rumors of certain players going in a certain direction doesn't really make sense, especially in this summer window.
Actually, few are matter. How can I say? Has done already. For example, Richarlison to Tottenham for 60 million pound.
So how do you
That's
think?
like 70 million.
That that deal?
Uh, I think it's a good one, given that like Chiesa, sorry, not Chiesa, what's his name? Kulusevski. He's going to be direct replacement or like a competitor of Kulusevski um, this season. Or if Conte needs someone who can actually press. the teams and keep the balls, and he's that guy. But 60 millions is like for Everton's points of view, it's a good deal
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I wouldn't pay 60 million for Richarlison.
Uh, yeah, no, I agree. To be honest,
Um,
if how much was the price for Gabriel Jesus?
45.
45. So Richarlison was 15 million more.
Actually, for City's points of view, it's different actually. If they want to sell someone, they'll actually little bit lower the price a little bit, like 5 or 10 million. But they got like a compensation with add-ons or something like that, so that like the process will be smooth because they always try to plan ahead. I think it's because of the Alexis Sanchez incidents in back in 2016 or 17 when Pep Guardiola took over. So yeah, that at the end of the day, they ended up, um, I guess, signing no one so far. So they they right now, like these days, they are actually like um, doing these smart moves. If anyone wants to leave, okay, someone else will come, something like that.
No, makes sense. Um, yeah, I don't have anything else new to add. To be honest, I don't. Um,
Um, Actually, Chelsea signed Kelvin Ramsey from Aberdeen.
I didn't actually.
Um,
I didn't really notice this player. To be honest, so I can't really talk much.
no, he was really good actually, but again, it's same sort of uh, trendy players they are signing. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Also, Mo Salah extended the contract, so which was kind of expected, but
Is it
there
because
were.
they heard that Real Madrid is coming for him?
I know it is always because he wants to stay in Liverpool, but the problem was only the money. Because if they were going to extend contract for both Mane and Salah, it
Couldn't
wasn't
happen.
possible because they have a hierarchy of income in the club, which they don't want to exceed, and that's a smart move actually in a sense to let go of money. But for Nunez to spend 100 million is that's actually too much.
Was it 100 or 80?
I think it was 100 like, in euros.
All right. Okay. Huh. That's a lot of money for Darwin Nunes, but that's okay. I
Yeah.
guess. Uh, yeah. No, I don't have actually a lot more or lot more to add. I don't.
Let me check a little bit.
Sure.
Um, well, we talked about Newcastle right last
Yeah.
week. Nothing in the Premier League, I guess.
No, and not too much as well in the La Liga as well. I mean, it's fairly quiet.
Yeah. One good thing is that like Demiral was playing in Atlanta as a loanee, so like the deal was permanent right now
Okay.
from Juventus. Juventus is getting like 20 million, and his performance against United, it was. it was like whenever he was playing, he was like a good presence, like an
Yeah,
attacking threat as well. Also,
yeah.
when they are getting like corners and stuff like that. Interbot Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, that was. I think that's finalized today, but it was always on the card. Mkhitaryan.
Because he was a free agent.
Yeah, yeah, but and also has a very low salary expectation
Mm. And Joaquin Correa deal was permanent
to Inter.
because he was,
Yeah,
yeah, since he left on loan.
yeah. To is it Sassuolo or Sampdoria?
No, Monza.
Ah,
And Monza is actually trying to get,
Mauro Icardi.
uh, yeah, Mauro Icardi. It was interesting to see.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
And they are going, they are also offering so many like offers to the players.
Yeah, I hope they see Ronnie from Palmeiras. Like I'm working as an agent.
Well, that would be confusing.
Who's agent, who's player?
Yeah,
Can't resist it. I have
yeah,
to.
Chiesa,
Minimum I have to brag 3 times about it.
yeah. Also, you needed a haircut as well.
Yeah,
Oh, they got Juventus got rid of Bernardeschi.
Bernardeschi. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, uh, Douglas Costa.
he was there.
Yeah,
Okay,
and they actually made the Chiesa deal from Fiorentina finalized, and so Fiorentina is getting like 40 more million money.
good for them. And I think they've signed Angel Di Maria for 1 year.
Already, no, it's not already finalized. It's like the deal, like the personal terms are still in talks. But Juventus wants to sign Denis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Hmm.
It would be a good signing actually, but I don't see him fitting with this team.
The other part I didn't like is Juventus buying Locatelli and thinking that Locatelli will solve their problem. I still see Locatelli as a good supporting player, but not the one player who'd solve the midfield problem.
Yeah, even in Euro, when he was coming as a substitute, he was playing well, not as a first team member. Wow, Monza actually signed a few good players.
I didn't keep keep up their signing.
They signed Carboni from Cagliari, midfielder Mattia Velotti from Spal, uh, Valentin Antov from CSK Sofia, Pedro Pereira from Benfica. Yeah, they signed a few good players.
Okay. Uh, did you say Carboni?
Yeah,
Is it a deal
yeah.
or is it a loan?
Uh, for a fee of 4 million.
Okay, that's a good deal.
I don't see any. Uh, I don't know important signings from Italian so far.
They've signed a loan transfer Stefano Sensi,
Yeah,
Nicola Rigoni. Yeah, it's interesting.
Udinese actually signed a bunch of Portuguese players,
Yeah,
but Beto, Buta, they are yeah fairly well. No, not much actually. Milan is still I don't know silent so far.
yeah. I think Milan has a specific transfer price range. I think they will not go over that. But it will be interesting to see if they would like to strengthen their squad because
They actually
Cassie,
only signed Florenzi from Roma for 2.7 million.
yeah, that's a
Like, but they did not. How can I say like what is it called? Extend the contract of Ibrahimovic. Also, Romagnoli,
Romagnoli.
Cassie left.
Yeah,
Romagnoli, Cassie left, and Frankfurt actually bought Jens Peter Hauge.
Holberg.
No, Frankfurt.
Right.
Uh, Jens Peter Hauge.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was an interesting young guy.
yeah. Frankfurt need actually a little bit boost, um, especially how they are playing, and they are going to be burned out like Napoli if they are playing like this in the Champions League
For sure,
because they are going to play in Champions League this season.
for sure.
I
Okay.
think I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, me too. I don't think there's some significant things are moving yet, at least.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's interesting anyway to just keep up.
yeah.
Anyways, thank you again. I think that wraps our episode for today. We'll be coming back again next week. Thank you.
Thanks for the invitation.